How's it, Buccaneer fans? What a good time to be an Orlando Pirates fan. We've had another great weekend. 4 times in a row, MTN8 champions. Joe and I were actually at the stadium in Mbule. We made the effort. We went all the way through to Nelspruit, and I'm very glad we did. Joe, yeah, great weekend. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I hope everyone is well too. I mean, when you win a cup in Nelspruit, in a stadium like this, and everything goes according to plan, I mean, you can't ask for a better weekend as a Pirates supporter, right? So very, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it could have gone better for a lot of Pirates fans. I mean, this week I was in Bloemfontein as well to watch Bafana, and we had a whole host of Orlando Pirates players in the national team as well, and they all performed really well. We got Sipo Mbule playing 2 games, which was great for his match fitness, which I think is Pirates will benefit in the long run. I mean, he played 3 games in the space of a week, and everyone was questioning his match fitness. Yeah, but I mean, that's benefited him massively, and obviously came straight back into the Pirates side and started for the first time since the first game. What have you made of him this week?
I think it was very good with Bafana Bafana. On the time he played, I think we know Mbule, his quality technically. There's not many players in South Africa that have his quality of pass as well. And I think it did very well for Bafana. The funny thing, right, if you all remember, he was actually replacing Tito, that was supposed to be at his place on the Bafana squad. And he's actually played the 2 games for Bafana at number 10, which is not his normal position when he plays at Pirates. And he did very well. And we were discussing that, Mike, together. It made him actually start at number 10 for the final as well. Yeah. What do you think? You were a midfielder, right? So what's in people's head when you actually normally you play 8 positions like this, and then they put you at 10 and you do well? Is it easy to adapt from 8 to 10? How have you been in that position as well? Like,
Yeah,
how is
look,
it?
for me personally, like, I think you need to have a full skill set. Like, me personally, as a number 6, I could never receive the ball with my back to the opposition goal. Like, there's such a skill in that. I was always better on the half turn or whatever, but like, it just shows you his ability, and he's always had that where he can receive the ball on the half turn. He's so aware of everything that's happening around him. I think not a lot of midfielders have that, especially deeper lying midfielders, number 6s. They prefer to receive the ball where they've got more space. He can receive the ball in very, very tight spaces. And I actually saw a lot of guys speaking about that, is the fact that I don't know if there's anyone better than him in South Africa in terms of just receiving the ball in the half space and in these tight little pockets. I've always felt that way. Like, we used to try to press him in training, and it just feels like he always can tell you that you're coming. You'll think like, okay, I'm gonna steal the ball here. He hasn't seen me. And then as you get there, he's got a little piece of skill because he already knows which side you're trying to press him from. He's so aware of everything that's happening around him. He's one of the few midfielders that I feel like could play as a 6 and as a 10. For
Yeah.
most midfielders, that's very, very difficult. And then
I remember we
obviously
had.
we've got to touch on Umberkasi. I mean, the comments from Hugo Bruce after his performance against Nigeria, he basically said straight up, like, this boy's got to go to Europe. He said, looks like he's been playing in Bafana for 10 years. Those were the words coming straight from Hugo Bruce, saying like just how impressed he was with Umberkasi. I mean, this guy 4 months ago was playing in the DDC. He's now playing against these Nigerians who most of them were playing in the English Premier League. I mean, the big boy that came on at the end starts up front for Wolves. Kazi dealt with all these guys with relative ease. And I mean, the coach was pretty glowing in his comments of Umberkasi after the game.
No, it was amazing. Look at his performance against Lukman. Lukman, who's one of the top 10 strikers in the world. In Italy, is an absolute beast. Scored 3 goals in the Europa League final. But Mbokezi, like, it was so funny to see every time they had like a clash between the two. You had Lukman that was just like exploding like a vulgar little small player because Mbokezi was so strong with him. And the block that Mbokezi did at the end of the game as well, when Lukman was by himself in front of the goalkeeper and Mbokezi came out from nowhere. This is quality. And I think we all have seen on social media all the Nigerians, the fans that were talking about these guys, like, how does he come from? So it's really nice to see, like, look, Mbokezi, we both agree, and I think everyone agrees he's got a great future. If he stays grounded and he stays the head on his shoulders, he's going to become better and better every time. He's still so young. He's got this maturity that no one has at his age. For me, I really think he can be one of the top prospects from South Africa, but like ever. He seems like a very, very nice guy. Like, he enjoys his football. He's very simple. And I hope he carries on like this, because for South African football, to have someone like him with his freshness, and like, he likes to fight and he likes the duel, which is very nice, like, one-on-ones, he loves it. It's amazing for us.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like, obviously, you from France, you come with a perspective from Europe. How important is it? Because I often feel like the Europeans don't necessarily rate our league, the PSL. So when they see Umberkasi dominating at the PSL level, doesn't necessarily carry that much weight. But then when he plays for Bafana Bafana against European stars, like how much of a difference does that make when agents or Europeans are now watching and saying, okay, hold on, he's not just doing this against South African footballers, he's doing this against some Premier League. That's why I was secretly disappointed when Osimhen didn't make the trip, because
Yeah.
like I can just think how important it would have been or how amazing for agents watching to see Mbukazi, how he would have handled Osimhen. And then you can actually say, look, it's not just PSL where he's dominating, he can dominate on the world stage as well.
No, I agree with you. I think Europeans don't watch the PSL a lot. We have to be honest here. And if you have a choice between a player from the PSL or a player from Serbia or Croatia or these countries, they'll always take the European one. Although some PSL players are way better, in my opinion. That's why it's very good for our players to play for Bafana Bafana. And I think we all have this vision. We know AFCON is in a few months now. And from my side as a Pirate supporter, like having a Mbokasi, a relay, it's gonna open up the world's eyes to like South African players that most of them are playing the PSL. And I really do think that national team exposure is extremely important for our league, because our league is not that much watched yet. And having the AFCON and Bafana do well there will make people watch the PSL more. That's 100% sure.
Yeah, because interesting, because obviously I'm a very good friend of Andre de Jong, who played on the other side versus Stellenbosch. I mean, he often says to me, like, even the New Zealand national team coaches, like, they won't pick. I mean, we had the same issue when Brocky was playing here, when Boxer was playing here. Their national team coaches won't pick players from the South African PSL because they don't basically respect the league.
Right.
But then they picking guys from like back in New Zealand who, like, it's essentially amateur football. And you're like, hold on, like, we have Stellenbosch, Pirates, Sundowns all playing in semi-finals of CAF tournaments. Like, the level of our football is one of the best in Africa now. Like, put a bit of
100%.
respect on our league. So yeah, it's just again how important it is that these guys start delivering for the national team, and then why these AFCON tournaments will become so important, and why World Cup qualification is so important.
Yeah. And a game like this weekend, right? It's also very important. Why? Because, like when you see pictures of a game and the videos of this game, and you see a game where there's 50,000 people, packed stadium, very nice grass, very nice fields, it gives credibility to our league as well. And we know that like scouts, they watch the big games because it's where there's the biggest opposition, right? So yeah, we need that. PSL has got the best stadiums in Africa for sure. And having these games in big stadiums with nice fields is going to also show like the scouts that, you know what, like in Africa, we've got the same thing as in Serbia or Croatia or anywhere else in Europe. So have a look there for sure.
Yeah, that leads us quite nicely into the cup final now. We were both in Nelspruit. What did you make of Nelspruit hosting the final? What did you make of the stadium, the pitch, the fans? Like, what did you make of it as an experience and as a host city for a cup final?
I think the experience was very good. We know that sometimes in the PSL we struggle, with the traffic and the parking and things. And I must say, like, I was a bit skeptical about Nelspruit because I'd been there before a few years ago. It was a bit of a nightmare. But I think the PSL and the Bombela municipality, they did extremely well because, to be honest, the traffic was actually quite good to get in and out. The field was really, really good because we are used to some bad fields from time to time, and this one was very good. Atmosphere absolutely amazing. No, PSL did great to go in Bombela, and it was so nice to see that you had 50,000 Pirates fans that actually traveled to Bombela to watch the game. What did you think?
Speaking about this at the stadium, like, I can't think of another cup final around the world where you would see one team have 100% of the supporters at a cup final. Like, it's quite insane, and why it also makes it so difficult for other teams besides maybe Chiefs or even Sundowns to compete with like Pirates in a cup final. I mean, essentially there was 50,000 Pirate supporters there, and less than, I don't know, 100 if you're lucky, Stellenbosch fans. So like, just in terms of like what you get as a 12th man from supporters, I don't think anywhere around the world would you get such a one-sided support base for a cup final.
Yeah, you don't. Because also, like, if you look at Europe or other countries, what they do is give allocations for both teams. Where in South Africa, we know it's a bit different because we have to be honest here, there's 3 teams, well, 2.5 teams that have got supporters. we won't talk about the half one, right? And the rest, like, they struggle a bit with supporters. So it's great to have had like this opportunity where all Pirates fans could come and support their team. For me, it was so cool. And as you said, like there's no other final in the world where you would see 100% stadium supporting one team. You know, like imagine when you're a Pirates player, I was talking with my friends at the game, like how nice is it you're on the pitch and you've got the whole stadium cheering for you and you win the game as well. You know, as players, the experiences you have must be like amazing to experience for sure.
Yeah. And now diving into the game, I think for the first 70 minutes, relatively even. Pirates had the better in the first half, I think. But then we chatted about Steve Barker obviously made some changes, tactical changes at halftime, and they managed to really come back into the game. And for like 20, 30 minutes in the second half, I thought, look, Stellenbosch, if they'd scored there, it would have made the game interesting. And they didn't get the goal then, and then sort of Pirates substitutions. And we'll speak about that because I think we both feel like Ouaddou got the substitutions almost perfectly. We were basically calling for those subs, and those are the exact subs he made. We knew that he was going to, when he made that change, pushing Sebele back to right back. He's done that on multiple occasions now. And then just having the ability to bring on Moremi and Apollos, like that pace, that quality. I mean, even when I bumped into the guys, the Stellenbosch guys yesterday at the airport, that was what they believed was the turning point, is the ability for Pirates to bring on such quality off the bench. Not a lot of clubs have the same amount of depth of quality to bring off the bench. And then, I mean, we were sitting in the box and the Pirates squad was sitting next to us, and we were looking through that squad in the stands as well. And you're thinking, besides Sundowns, I don't think there's another team that can compete with us squad-wise. So, yeah, the depth definitely worked in our favor on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Apollos, and of course, Moremi and Mabasa, they changed the game, right? If you look at it, Mabasa scored a goal, Moremi 2, Apollos 2 assists, and Moremi another assist. So the three main substitutions up front that Ouaddou did, it worked extremely well. So I'm very happy for him because, again, we said the beginning was difficult for him, but like he's showing us that he's very pragmatic, Ouaddou guy. He does what people see, which is quite nice because most of coaches, you know, fans, we always get crazy because they never do what we think is right. Ouaddou, like since the beginning of the season, several substitutions he did, we would do it as fans. Right? Yeah. So at least it's good to see that like he sees the same things as we do. And I'm very happy for him. It's his first big trophy. He won one in DRC, which was a Congo Super Cup, but it doesn't really count. So for him, it's a big trophy. And even for his career, to win a trophy of Orlando Pirates, you know, he's going to be sorted for the next 10 years afterwards. So very, very cool to see.
Yeah. And then obviously you've been inside the club, Joe. What is like now this is 4 MTNA trophies they've brought in now. Like, it's a massive amount of success and a lot of money that they're bringing in as well. And it's like, just seems like it's every year, like year on year, the MTN8, it's basically become the Pirates trophy. It's just evens out your season because it just takes that little bit of pressure off. It's the banter on social media always quietens down because like no one can really say anything to you. You've already got that trophy in the pocket. They'll be now you fight for the league and that's a bonus, but you've already got that trophy in the pocket.
The reality, right, is we've won a trophy this season. So even if we carry on the season and it's not great, I think it will be great. But if it's not great, we still have had an okay season because we won one trophy. So now the players, they've got their weight off their shoulders. And now they can play knowing that they've had a trophy. So it's better because the pressure will be less, I think, on them for the league as well. So no, the pressure now is on the other teams like Sundowns, like Chiefs, and like all these other people who now have Pirates that have one trophy. So they can't let Pirates to have a trophy more than them. So pressure will be on them, less on us. So it's perfect for the players and Ouaddou to carry on to have a process they want to do for the season.
Yeah, it's always like, I always worry after you win this first trophy, like can you then not relax and just like keep pushing on? And you know what it's like at Pirates, there's that mentality, like literally the next day, like back to work. Like there's just like tick the box and like move on. Yeah, so it's can we push? But I see obviously the midweek game has been postponed, which benefits us now, but it also means that down the line, come closer to December, our schedule's going to condense again. So yeah, can we now quickly flip the script and then focus on the league and really make a push this year?
Look, we'll have to play catch up. Sundowns, they already have one more game now because they played this weekend. They couldn't play the final, so they had to find a game to play. But yeah, so now it's catch up, and we all know catch up is very difficult because now the pressure is big. Because if you know you have to win, you know you have to win, and there's no other solution. So postponement is good because we can rest, but then it means that next weekend we really have to win because otherwise we'll be quite far from Downs and Chiefs and Sekukune and these guys. But the players, they know how to handle pressure. When you play at Paris, if you can't handle pressure, you shouldn't play.
Yeah.
So I'm quite confident for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a clip on social media today, and I loved the response from Sipo Chain. They basically asked him, like they said, "You've had a slow start to the season," and he basically laughed in the journalist's face. He was like, "Oh, like slow start." He's like, "Have you seen how many players we added to the squad, and how we've already managed to bring them in and actually achieve success already with the amount of new additions?" He was like, "I believe it's an incredible start," and I share that sentiment as well.
Agree. The first 3 games we lost, and then we did amazing. So that's a very good start, right? People must talk, at players like they must do their thing. Ouaddou, he must do his thing. We'll count the eggs in the bag at the end of the season, right?
Sure. Yeah. Guys, I think that's it. I think great weekend for Orlando Pirates again. It was phenomenal to be in the stadium, to meet all the Pirates fans as well. I had a great time with Orlando Pirates fans in Nelspruit. So yeah, guys, we're going to be bringing you a show every Monday. So make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you get a notification every single time our Pirates podcast goes live. We will be bringing you cool guests in the future as well. Always Pirates legends and great guys around the Pirates club, so that you guys get more insight into what's happening behind the scenes at Orlando Pirates. Joe, thank you very much, and we'll catch up soon.